Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to those who are just now finding us. I know it's been a minute. However, I am back. I have been commissioned to create some apples for this organization. It's like their 40th, I guess, reunion. They're a little club that belong to North Hollywood High School. And so I know one of the actual members of the club, and they're called the Fleas, which actually stands for Foxy Engaged. No, sorry, take that back. Foxy Ladies Engaged in Action. So here you can see me. I'm just preparing how I want to embellish the apples that I am creating. And so I know I said I normally do not use fondant, but because of how I wanted to structure this actual apple, I felt the fondant would do a better job. I know sometimes you will have to use fondant, but everyone knows I brag about using chocolate to embellish, but this was a better way to create what I wanted to do in the way I want it to pop out. So I'm just preparing the actual fondant. It's like this silver. Um, it was already a shimmery fondant. However, I will be probably changing the color depending on how I want the layers of the apple or the final product and what I want it to actually look like. Um, yeah, so I'm just going to speed this up and get through this little process, and then we will move on. If you have not liked this video or subscribed, please do so. Come on, let's get this video into a trending video. This is going to be so cute, the product. Okay, so now I've cut the pieces that I need for each apple. I am also making sure that the edible part of the with the fox on it, that it fits on there perfectly. Also, I'm comparing the two because what I did off camera was I used a little bit of vodka into some luster dust, and I dusted over the fondant with it. And then I also dusted over the fondant with just the powder itself. I like it better with just the powder. That's how come you see two different size brushes. And so one of them I use normally when I'm putting the vodka in my dust. And then the other one that looks like a more of a makeup brush, a dusting brush, foundation brush. I use that type of brush when I'm just dusting over different things to give a certain look that I want. So now I am going to be dusting all of them because that's the preferred look that I want. And yeah, I'm just going to speed this up once again. Now that I have all of my pieces dusted in the color, I am going to now start adhering the edible to the fondant, and I am just going to use a little bit of edible glue to do that. But one thing I've noticed with working with this edible glue and working with edibles, period, if you use too much, because normally I'll use water also to adhere my edible, but they are so delicate and they will bleed very quickly if you apply too much glue or too much water to it. So that's a pro tip for when you are working with edibles, that they are so easily, or you can so easily distort them or smear them. So you have to work or use very light adherent, whatever you're using to adhere it. It can be chocolate, because I've used chocolate also. I do think that water works best, but I just didn't want to put the water on the fondant because I think that the fondant absorbs the water too quickly. So I wanted to just use the glue. But I'm going to speed this up as usual. Okay, so somehow I've lost the video that actually shows me dipping the apples in the caramel. However, I am going to pick up with dipping them into the white chocolate because that's the color. I decided to just keep it white, keep this kind of clean and crisp. Of course, I'm going to check the temperature of the chocolate before I start dipping them. I had to wait until the caramel had dried completely because I don't want caramel in my chocolate. And yeah, I'm just a little stickler about that. So I don't instantly dip. I let that caramel dry up and then I will dip it into whatever color chocolate I'm going to use. Also, when I dip with chocolate doing this type of apple with the caramel on it, I like to leave a little bit of caramel showing, just like I like to leave a little bit of apple color showing. That's just my preference, comment, what's your preference? Because I know some people just cover it all up. I like the color because I like those layers to be seen from the top angle. But that's just me. I don't know. Every now and then I cover it all the way up, depending on what type of apple I'm creating. I end up covering it up by way of design. But I do like this look also. And when I dip, and you'll see me with creating or putting it in to dip it. When I pull it out, I do scrape the bottom of it because I hate that puddle. And even if I do get that puddle, I always pay attention once I set the apple down on what it is that I'm sitting it down on. If I see a puddle forming, I pick it up, I'll scrape it off again, and then I'll place it somewhere else because I just don't like it to look like a saucer is on the bottom part of it. So that's just me, but I'm going to speed this up also. So now that the chocolate has dried, I am going to start adhering the embellishment to the actual apple. Normally, I kind of turn the apple around to see which side is better so that it could be the front part of the apple is where I want to adhere it to. So you'll see me kind of like rotating the apples around to figure out which side is going to be best. The other thing that's going on here, I don't know if you've paid attention to the actual finished product compared to what I'm working with now. If you can figure out what is different, make sure you comment below. The reason why I'm telling you to do this is that that's going to be a part of my giveaway. I haven't had a chance to celebrate that we have over 100 subscribers. And so to celebrate, that's what I'm going to do. Well, this is going to be a part of what you need to do. And I'll come back in and I'll probably create like a short explaining what we're going to do as far as the giveaway. Okay, so now that my apples have dried completely, I'm ready to put them on this mini cake board. Well, that's what they're called. They're mini cake boards, and people use them. Well, they can be used for cupcakes, but you see, I'm using them for my apples. I just like to use them because it makes my packaging look a little more elegant. And so, yeah, that's the reason why I use them. I actually got them from Amazon back in 2023, but hopefully I can get the link. I don't know what they cost now, but they come in, I think, a pack of 100. And so, yeah, but I'm just going to get my apples placed on there and then I'm going to sit them into the individual boxes. And then I'll show you guys the finished product. Okay, so I wanted to just pop in right before I show you the finished product, only to thank everyone who has followed me and subscribed to the channel. We have over 100, I think in 105, 108, somewhere. But we have over 100 subscribers, and I want to thank everyone personally for helping us get there. And then also to let you know, since I mentioned earlier about us doing a giveaway celebrating the subscribers, I am going to come back with a caramel video of how I created the caramel for these apples that I made. I really don't know what happened to the video because I'm like, okay, did we not video that? But I'll come in, I'll recreate another one. It's like a 1, 2, 3 that I do. It's the easiest caramel to make, and everyone loves it. But I'll get that to you guys probably within the next week or so. But yeah, so check out the apples.